I'll never forget the time when we had to stay in New Orleans because of a rainstorm on our way home from Florida when I was 10 years old. My parents and all of our friends that stayed out there with us enjoyed themselves by going out and having fun on Bourbon Street and enjoying the fancy drinks that New Orleans has to offer. I myself still had a great time because I got to see all of the history of New Orleans and see all the things that related to the hurricanes that have hit it because I have always wanted to be a meteorologist. The reason why I'm talking about this is because there is currently an issue at large. New Orleans needs to be experienced by everybody, and now may be the only time to do so. New Orleans is a place where you can do anything and everything. In fact, in an article published in PN, I found that the French Quarter is the best place to experience the culture of New Orleans year-round. There are things to do at night, like bars and clubs, or during the day, you can go visit the St. Louis Cathedral, which is very historical, and it's just a very pretty Catholic church that's very famous. And you can go do historical tours, visit the historical museums, if you're a history person like me. And there's also a lot of shopping you can do, and it's just good. Everybody likes it, would like it. According to an article published in Catholic Digest, Mardi Gras attracts about 1.4 million people per year, which is crazy. So if you want to go, you should book in advance. But people come to drink, party, and go to parades during Mardi Gras season, they call it. Also, the French Quarter is home to this festival, and it's one of the most popular festivals in the United States. In fact, Houston and Galveston have Mardi Gras parades often. I'm sure other places as well, but it all starts and ends with New Orleans. It originated there. According to an article published in New Orleans Magazine, the bars are part of what makes New Orleans so great. Some of the things that make New Orleans such a memorable experience include the food and the drinks. New Orleans is home to some of the oldest and most renowned bars in the world. A majority of its bars are old and filled with a lot of history. Exceptional drinks are made and represent the history of the Big Easy or New Orleans. Here is an example of one of the bars. You can see it. And then here you go. If you want to hold it, you can flip through the other pictures. And yeah. So with these amazing drinks, it is important that you're not drinking on an empty stomach, so you're going to need some good food with that. According to an article published in St. Charles Avenue, dining in New Orleans is a unique experience because of its own diverse Cajun flair. They're famous for their beignets, which you can look at the photo right there. It's a powdery, more of a sweet kind of food. It's kind of like a donut, but much better, and especially better there. Gumbo, jambalaya, red beans and rice, crawfish also. I know that my family are big crawfish fans. My mom can eat like 4 buckets by herself. But so their Cajun Creole food just makes it special. Now let me tell you why it is so important to visit New Orleans soon. New Orleans is sinking, or it's experiencing land subsidence, which is flooding, because of naturally occurring processes like hurricanes, like for example Hurricane Katrina, and human tampering and tinkering. So whenever we keep building levees and other flood protection in New Orleans, it gets damaged, and we have just been paying to fix it over and over again, which is making the problem worse, and it's not a long-term solution. And as a result, I found in an article published in the Washington Post, U.S. taxpayers have spent nearly $15 billion rebuilding the city's flood protection since 2005. So since Hurricane Katrina, we U.S. citizens have been paying to rebuild that flood protection. So it's crazy that we're spending that much money, and soon we're going to run out of that money, so it's important that we all go and experience the Cajun flair, the food, the drinks if you're over 21, bars and clubs if you're over 21, or 18, I guess, in the U.S., but the food, everything, history, if you like history, you'll love it, shopping, just everything in New Orleans is an amazing thing. Does anybody have any questions? Go ahead.
Do they speak French there?
Some people do, but most people just speak English, and they have accents from the place they came from. Do you have a question?
Why is it so vulnerable to hurricanes?
It's vulnerable to hurricanes because of its location on the Gulf Coast. Anyone else? Go ahead.
Do they have a lot of diverse foods there?
They do because people brought their culture with them when they came from their home countries. They have a lot of different people from different countries, immigrants, I guess you could say, living there. They brought their culture with them. So yeah. Any more questions?
Mm-mm.